Well, let me tell you, I bet you there's a lot of regret now going to a Coldplay concert. What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler, and today is a brand new edition of This Week in Collectible News, the series where I talk about the latest in collectible news, whether that be Funko, U2s, or even in this case, collectible trading cards based off of viral moments. And if you end up enjoying this type of content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, but nonetheless, let's kick this video off. So first off, Hot Topic had announced their own flocked exclusive pop of Kuromi as Baku. I mean, I never really have much to say about Hello Kitty and Kuromi, but I guess the idea of this figure being flocked is cool, I guess. U2s have announced a figure of Superman with crypto. Now, this figure is absolutely awesome, and especially for the fact that it's not just Superman here, it's also crypto. You get two figures in one. We got ourselves new Rocky Moto figures debuting at San Diego Comic-Con with Astro Boy and Euron. I don't know if that's the pronunciation of the one character, but I think these are pretty sweet, not gonna lie. Especially the fact with Rocky Moto / Funmaker Inc. now diving into licensed collectibles that I think are gonna help really skyrocket this product. LEGO have announced a set of the Italian Riviera. Now this is absolutely cool. Of course, I've mentioned so many times on this series that LEGO is just killing it as of late, especially with this set where you do have a couple of buildings and it does give the effect of being in Italy. Thrilljoy have announced figures of their mascots of Blue, Tux, and Red, all with Ultra Chases and even one with a 1-of-1 figure. And these are really cool. These are going to be debuting at San Diego Comic-Con. I believe these are exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, and I really wonder who ends up going to be the one that pulls the 1-of-1. Speaking of Thrilljoy, they've also announced another San Diego Comic-Con exclusive of Bebop with the Chase being Rocksteady. I love the concept that with the Common and the Chase, it's completely different characters. It's not like what we've been seeing the last however many years with Funko, where it's just taking a character and then adding a specification based off of that same molding. Ringside Collectibles have announced their own exclusive figure of Cope, aka Adam Copeland, for AEW. Now, I will say this is a pretty cool figure considering this is based off of his attire from his AEW TNT title win that happened in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and you can see with the attire that it's based off of the Toronto Maple Leafs logo. The only problem that I have, and this is really a gripe with a lot of the AEW figures, is that the head sculpt is absolute trash. It looks nothing like the actual wrestler itself. Burger King have announced toys for Naruto that will be releasing this upcoming week with their Happy Meals. And this is pretty sweet, of course, anime being a huge craze, and I already know tons of people that are going to be going to Burger King next week to actually get a Happy Meal, hopefully to get all, I believe it's 9 collectibles. GameStop have announced their own exclusive pop of Batman. Now, even though the overall pop is a little bit basic, I love the effect of the blood splatter because it just makes it so much more unique. We got ourselves pops of Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Protagonist from Metaphor, and then a San Francisco Giants pop of Justin Verlander. Now, I don't know too much about either one of these three, except that I believe Protagonist was the runner-up to Game of the Year, which was claimed by Astro Boy, and then we have Jotaro, which marks the first ever JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Funko Pop, which they did do a teaser that there's going to be 2 more pops coming out for the set, probably releasing on a week-to-week basis, so I wouldn't be surprised if next week's episode that we will be talking about the next JoJo Bizarre Adventure Funko Pop. We got ourselves a new wave of NBA pops. I can't really talk about this much because not only do I barely watch NBA, but I don't know any of these basketball players, not gonna lie. We got ourselves a new wave of Pokemon pops that feature Absol, Ninetales, and Rowlet. I do recognize all 3 of these Pokemon. I know that not all of them are from Gen 1. I believe Ninetales is the only one from Gen 1, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what it is, but that Ninetales, it just kind of looks a little derpy, not gonna lie. We got ourselves a new wave of Jujutsu Kaisen pops. And this is actually a solid wave of pops. I think all of these pops are pretty detailed. The one that stands out to me the most is the Jogo. I really like the design of this. We got ourselves a new set of Lord of the Rings, which features a Pop Town, 2 glow-in-the-dark Pop Pluses, and then we have a Deluxe Moments. Now, although I've been trashing on the Plus Pops as of late, I can give a little bit of credit with this one, and the fact that I do love the incorporation incorporation of the bases involved, where it's the ring plus a little bit of grass, and then the glow-in-the-dark aspect with the lettering on the ring, just like you see in the movie. So I'm going to give them credit on that. This is one of the okay pluses that I've seen in quite a while. Super 7 have appointed Jeff Walker as CEO. I don't really talk about Super 7 all that much, but I thought if you are a Super 7 fan, this might be news to you, and hopefully this guy lasts longer CEO at Super 7 than Cynthia Williams did CEO of Funko. U2s have announced a figure of Battle Beast from Invincible, a figure of Garfield, a new set of Call of Duty Zombies, and we have ourselves a set of Fantastic Four First Step figures. And all these figures are pretty sweet. Mondo have announced an Entertainment Earth exclusive figure of Baxter Stockman. I don't know too much about Mondo besides the fact that they are owned by Funko within the last couple of years, but this figure does look really detailed. Amazon have announced exclusive pops of My Melody and then a VHS covers of the Great White Shark from Jaws. Now, I don't remember if this My Melody pop was announced, but my main focus of this is the Jaws VHS covers, which is absolutely amazing. It literally represents the entire cover of Jaws. And even though that I do have one VHS covers with the Toy Story one, this may be the greatest Funko Pop VHS covers that has ever been made. Super 7 have announced a figure of the orange Yip Yip Martian for Sesame Street. Once again, I don't really mention about Super 7 all that often, but I thought this was something that was really cool to mention, especially knowing in the Funko world, I don't think there's been a pop of the specific character. Rocky Moto have announced some San Diego Comic-Con exclusives with a yellow translucent Woodstock and then a puff jacket Snoopy. Yeah, it seems like San Diego Comic-Con is going to be a little bit wild for all the other collectibles that aren't Funko. Pop Culture have announced their shared exclusives for San Diego Comic-Con. And I was really looking forward to the announcement from Pop Culture, just for the sake that with a lot of my Comic-Con exclusives, I have been buying from Australia, considering of the current events going on with the US. And one of the things that I was hoping they would announce is the Jorgen von Strangle and Tooth Fairy 2-pack, but that's not being shared here, even though that on the Funko Shop website, it will be shared to the US, and it's not being shared to the Canadian retailer. Funko Europe will have Pop Yourself coming to the website soon. And this definitely has a lot of people excited because I think it was teased during like a conference call that this was going to happen, but now we have the official announcement here. In the moment you're all waiting for before our usual top 5 list, we have ourselves a Topps Chrome 1-of-1 card of the Coldplay couple. Now, of course, if you've been living under a rock, there was a specific moment that happened at a Coldplay concert where there was a kiss cam segment, and then we had this specific couple that got a little too shy when they were showing off. And the reason behind that is that this was actually an affair that was happening between two people. And the guy that's involved in this photo is a CEO of a billion-dollar company that had to make a statement revolving around this. And since then, we've been seeing this photo turned into templates all across the internet, and the fact that now we have a Topps Chrome trading card, which I'm going to be the bearer of bad news, this is actually a fake collectible card. For those that were hoping that this was actually a collectible card, I don't blame you, because Topps have taken viral moments, including the brand new Pope a few months back actually got turned into a trading card, but at the same time, the amount of lawsuits that probably would happen if this was actually turned into a Topps Chrome trading card. And I did get some laughs on a couple of comments on the post that I'm looking at here, where one of them says, "When is the dual auto card going to drop?" And shout out to Backyard Breaks that actually created this concept, but I will give them credit for creating such a funny meme to add on to the collectible world that I was able to base this video off of. Today I wanted to give a shout out to Sentinel 107, and the reason that they ended up getting a shout out is because they joined our YouTube channel membership, which only cost $1.99 a month. Not only do you get the shout out, but you do get lots of other perks, including early access to every single video and shorts that we produce on this channel. So definitely consider joining our YouTube channel membership. It will be greatly appreciated and will go a long way of helping out this channel a lot. So definitely consider it, but let's get right back to the video. Now, starting with the top 5 list, coming in at number 5 is the Battle Beast U2s from Invincible. Now, I think this figure is very detailed, but I haven't seen this portion of Invincible yet, so I don't really have much of a personal reaction towards this. Coming in at number 4 on my list is the Call of Duty Zombies U2s. Now, of course, Call of Duty Zombies, something I did play growing up, and I have considered multiple times of potentially getting figures from this set. Coming in at number 3 on my list is the Italian Riviera set from LEGO. Usually LEGO ends up on this list one way or another, but I felt at this time it doesn't crack the number 1 spot like it usually does. Coming in at number 2 on my list is the Amazon exclusive Great White Shark VHS covers pop. This thing is absolutely phenomenal. It actually may be one of the best pops of 2025, and if it wasn't for this announcement, I think this entire top 5 list would have consisted of collectibles, not including Funko, which kind of gives away the number 1 spot on my list, which goes to the San Diego Comic-Con red figure from Thrilljoy. I felt that Thrilljoy has been killing it as of late, and that I thought that a figure deserved to crack the number 1 spot, and I chose red not only because of the red panda aspect, but with the fact that it's got a really cool Ultra Chase that's basically blacklight, and the colors do look nice, and of course the aspect of the one-of-one figure that's going to be making the hunt for this figure absolutely insane. But thanks for watching. See you later, guys.